Hello and welcome to A Sense of Centerville in Washington Township, your place for stories about ordinary and extraordinary residents and places in the Centerville and Washington Township area. I'm Susan from Centerville-Washington History, and I look forward to hearing your story. Today, my guest is Anna Weller. Anna Weller is a recent graduate of Centerville High School and also the 2023 scholarship winner for Centerville-Washington History. While in high school, Anna participated in National Honor Society, Elk Connectors, varsity soccer, lunch buddies, and the swim and dive team. Anna is attending the University of Dayton in the fall and majoring in education. Welcome to Anna.
Thank you.
All right. So Anna and I have had a few discussions about this, and I appreciate her for being here. I think it's kind of fun to be part of a podcast, but also if you've never done it before, it can be a little intimidating. So hopefully you feel really comfortable.
No, I do. I'm excited.
Wonderful. All right. So tell me a little bit about your growing up experience in Centerville.
I'm from Centerville and my whole family is. So like me and my brother both grew up here. So that's always been it's always just been what I've known as home. And then I got fortunate that both of my grandparents also lived in Centerville growing up. So that was also really nice that I kind of always got to have this home and this family that I've known for so long. And then I also, since I've been doing soccer, I've been doing that since 14 years. So it's just kind of fun just to find activities that I've loved to do throughout the community here as well.
Wow, I didn't know that your grandparents were also here. So you have some roots in Centerville.
Yes, I do.
That is fun. Well, we'll have to have them on the podcast.
Yeah.
If they'd be, maybe they'll listen to this and go, oh, well, I could do that.
Yeah.
All right. So what are some of the moments you'd like to remember about growing up in the Centerville area?
I feel with that, I always found our family being at a park just doing something. Either me and my brother always just running around, either at Stubbs Park or Grant Nature, just kind of enjoying the outside, and just it was always really nice to just. I feel when I think about what I did growing up, it was always I was always outside doing something or just messing around with little things here and there. So it was always really fun to do that.
Yeah. So what are some of the parks that are?
We always went to Stubbs Park, and that was just it was closer to our house, so it was just kind of fun to go there, or Grant Nature, so Grant's Park, which was fun.
Mm-hmm. I love both of those parks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still go there?
Sometimes. I actually started going there for soccer and doing some soccer stuff there because I played for Coosa for a while, so we kind of did stuff with Forest Field there for a while, so that was also really fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of soccer fields at that, a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So finding the right soccer field can be tricky. So 14 years of soccer.
Yes.
I mean, you really have to do that to be able to be on varsity soccer at Centerville. Yeah. So what made you want to devote so much time to that?
I don't know. I feel because for a while there, I was just trying to find something that was just keeping me active and fun, because my brother, he was always doing something. He tried to do all these other sports, and he stuck with soccer. So I kind of saw that, and I kind of was always around that, I feel because he's older than me, so I got to be a part of it. And then I just tried it, and I just kind of fell in love with it and started doing it.
So you were good at it? And there was probably a little competitiveness
there definitely
that you wanted
was.
to do something that he was doing too. Yeah. All right. Well, soccer was in our family too, but nobody made varsity soccer. Okay. So what are the experiences that drew you to a career of teaching?
I feel I've always just been drawn towards teaching. I don't when I was always little, I'd always make all my friends play teacher with me, and I would make them sit somewhere, and I would just teach them on a whiteboard. I'd be here's math, and I feel it was just kind of fun. And then my grandma was also a teacher, and so was my mom. So I came from kind of a long line of teaching, and then my aunt got into it as well. So I was kind of always just around teachers growing up.
Did your mother and grandmother teach at Centerville?
Yes, my grandma taught at PBN, I want to say. I think she did first and kindergarten. I think it might have been kindergarten that she did. And then my mom works at a Montessori school in Centerville as well.
All right. Yeah, I talked with her about that. That is fun. All right. So something you've always felt practiced, and so that was something that you thought you'd always do.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's your focus in teaching?
Early childhood. So I should be going into I want to do third grade. So
what's key about third grade that appeals to you?
No, we did. So through the high school, we got to do block programs, which is you kind of get to pick a little bit about what you want to do, so you can focus more on your career. So I did the early childhood one. And with that, you get to go to schools. So I started off in a preschool class, and I did some first grade and some second grade, and then some fourth grade. But then my last quarter and year, I got to do third grade, and I just really loved it.
Because they're still young and cute.
Yeah. They are. It's they're still funny, and you can joke around with them a little bit, and they don't get too upset by it. And it's I just feel I just fit best with them. And I remember when I was in third grade, I loved third grade.
Do you remember your teacher's name in third grade?
I do. It was Mrs. Sawyer.
Okay.
She actually is at Miami University now doing stuff with helping people that want to become teachers, but so she's still doing some teaching, just not third grade anymore.
And what was the impact? What do you remember about that?
I don't know. I just remember everyone, I feel in third grade it's you kind of because it wasn't second grade, you weren't new to the building, you met some of your friends, and it was just everyone just kind of came together, and it was just really fun.
Right. Yeah. I think third grade teachers are the best too. I don't know. There's awesome teachers in every grade level. So let's think about, why do you think history is a relevant topic of study?
I feel it's just kind of a baseline. It's we kind of know it's history for a reason. It's we went through it, we can learn from it now, and we just feel it's good to look back at what we knew then, and what we did, and we can look at how we reacted that way and kind of learn from it.
All right, so since you've graduated, I expect you've taken some history classes.
History.
What are the topics of history that are most interesting to you?
I don't know. History, it's I'm not too great at history.
No, I wasn't that great when I was in high school either. So I'm not going to ask you any hard questions or anything like that. But is there a time frame that is appealing to you?
I don't know. I think just kind of not too far back, but kind of when I don't know, just kind of more relevant but still dated stuff is kind of fun, just to look back. It's when advances were still growing, and we were still developing stuff. I think that's pretty cool. Just
definitely
too.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the experiences that shaped your high school career.
Okay, so going into my freshman year was the COVID year. So that was
the first of the COVID
years.
Yes,
that was the big impact one. That was the one how it's we went on spring break, and then we were we get an extra week, and then we'll come back, and then I just never went back. So
that's true. Yeah.
That was my freshman year, and then, which I was fine with. I was whatever.
Yeah, the first year was okay.
Yeah, that was, because that's when it was still
new and interesting.
Yeah, you didn't really know anything, and it wasn't I didn't really know anybody around me that was impacted severely by it. So it was still kind of fun, and I was just it's just a long spring break. Mm-hmm. But then sophomore year, that's when most people kind of stayed at home, and that was kind of the more online year, and that was one how you could go to school for a little bit if you wanted to. You kind of got to pick whether you did online or at home. So that was kind of different, but then junior year, everyone went back, but it still wasn't a normal year.
You wore the masks.
Yeah, and it was still all the classrooms were spaced out, so it's still kind of awkward sometimes. But then senior year, everybody just kind of came back, and it was just a normal year. So I think that was really kind of cool how it was we started off together, and then we kind of ended together normally too, which was really good.
But you missed a whole bunch of the in-between socializing. So how do you think that impacted you specifically, or your friends?
I feel because I was still involved with so many sports that I kind of still got to hang out with some people here and there, because I still had soccer that I was doing, and I still had track and swim that I would be doing. But I feel because I know some people that didn't, and I feel they kind of just felt they were really wanting to go back and just kind of have that normal again. Mm-hmm. So I feel it impacted me, because I just didn't really get that normal always at high school moment, because I was mostly at home just doing school. So it was just kind of yeah, I'm in high school, but I'm also like sitting here at my house doing like history right now. So it's just kind of interesting, but
Not as easy to learn
yeah,
on
and
your
I feel
own.
like I feel like it wasn't like I was like learning, but it just like didn't feel like traditional, I guess, because it was like I was just sitting like in front of a computer, like just kind of teaching it myself with someone helping me along the way is what it felt like.
Right. Yeah. Do you think you lost any things because of that? I mean, do you think you missed out on some?
I mean, I might have. I guess I'll never know exactly what I could have
Exactly
had.
true, yeah.
But I feel like I probably did miss out on some stuff just because I didn't have like the peers helping me out at all, because it was just all by myself. And I feel like that's kind of how I like learn the most, is like by like I get instructions and then I like hear it and then I can like do it myself and then like have other people help me as well. So just not having that, I feel like helped me like realize how much I actually need that to like fully learn.
It's that peer-to-peer impact of having them, you know, help you with the writing and
like
peer
figuring it out
review.
together.
Right. Yeah. So I'm curious about like soccer and swim team and track. Was that impacted at all?
Yes.
So tell me how things changed with that.
Okay. So for soccer, it was like the beginning of the year. So like freshman year, like I didn't really change that much because it was like just normal and like soccer had no impact. But then going into sophomore year, we didn't really know if we were going to have a year because we didn't know how we were going to try out. We didn't know how we were going to like play against another team. Like we really had no clue. So it was kind of like a later thing that we realized that like, oh, we can actually have a season. So it was just kind of different because it was like we had to make sure like both teams were like healthy and like no one had like any traces back of like any signs with COVID or anything before we could actually have a match. So it was a lot like harder, I feel like, to just like go out there and like have fun, because you always had to like worry about like, oh, like where have they been? Like they were from like Cincinnati, like I don't know what's been happening with that. So we always had to worry about that. And then it's like we couldn't really go that many places because like we normally travel sometimes for the high school soccer team. So we just couldn't really travel that much because of COVID and everything.
So you couldn't do any overnight stays
No.
because you couldn't stay in the same room with somebody outside of your family. So this is
and
the
then
trick.
like bus rides also, we couldn't really do bus rides. I think we did a few just because like once it like we finally got like into it, but for a while there like we had to drive everywhere by ourselves and you just kind of like met there and just
like your parents would drive you because you weren't a driver at that point.
No, so most of our parents are
So did you have to wear masks while you played soccer?
Not when we were on the field.
Okay.
Normally once we got off the field or you were on like the bench or you had to like run inside real quick, like you were, unless you were drinking water, you had a mask on.
Yeah.
So.
All right. How did you do swim team? Was that altered at all?
So I didn't start swim until like junior year. So it was kind of like, I was kind of on like the downfall of like going back up. So from like they're transitioning, but I had many friends that did it because I was going to join sophomore year, but then like that whole thing happened and they're like, you probably shouldn't come in right now during this.
Right.
But I heard it was like basically the same thing. How it's just like anytime you weren't like by yourself or like in the water, like you had to have a mask on, you had to like keep your distance, not really like talk or socialize that much.
Yeah, I think there's pretty limited amount of people allowed per lane as well. So limited access to be able to swim even. Yeah, things have adjusted and changed.
Yes.
So what are the things that you're most excited about now that we have moved away from, the pandemic? What are the things that are most exciting or that bring you most joy?
I feel like honestly just like connecting with people now, like because I feel like I lost some of that. So just like casually just like hanging out and like connecting and just like becoming like who I want to be and like expressing that now more like freely with everyone.
Yeah, so even getting together with friends in your home was something you had to think, is this a safe thing?
Yeah.
And then maybe their family has different rules than your family, so you kind of had to bring all those into play. Some people are very casual about COVID, and other people are not that casual about it.
Yeah.
So did you have people in your home?
Yes. So for a little bit there, because I lived in like kind of like a tighter neighborhood, so like we were all like friends. So we all just kind of hung out in like our two homes together, and then once it got like more serious, we kind of just drifted apart. But I feel like it helped just because my brother was also home, so I feel like I always kind of had at least someone that I could like hang out with and talk to no matter what.
So did he graduate in the year of
Yes,
COVID
he
began?
graduated 2020.
Oh.
So his senior year was the one that got cut short.
Yeah, yeah. So does he have any resentment about that, or has he gotten over it?
I think he was, because I feel like his senior year, I feel like that was like the perfect year for him that got cut short. Like I feel like he was kind of over it. He just kind of wanted to do his own thing.
A shorter senior year wasn't a bad thing for
Yes,
him.
no, it definitely was like his like golden year.
Okay.
And he definitely like, that's when they did like that car parade for like the first time, and he like loved that.
Yeah.
And he just, I think he was like, by the time it hit, he was like beyond done. So I think it was just perfect for him.
Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I know some people. But I mean, everybody was impacted.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, especially the younger people, you know, all through college as well. So I'm sure that was challenging. Okay, so what are you most excited about upcoming college year? So what are the things that you're excited about?
I'm mostly excited just to like finally get like the last steps into becoming like a teacher. Like I just like, it's like the final straw, like I'm almost there. I just have to like pull through for an extra couple of years, and then I'm there, which I'm so excited about.
So you're excited about becoming a teacher more than you're excited about going to college. Okay.
I'm also excited just to like, college is just like a new start. Like nobody like really knows anybody yet, so you can kind of be like whoever you want to be and wherever you want to be.
Yeah. So will you try any new things? Will you join any new clubs or be involved?
Like I think I'm just gonna kind of not really set like too many standards or things. I'm just gonna kind of go in, see what I feel is like fine, and just kind of go from there, see where it takes me. But
so is soccer a part of your future, or is that just for fun?
I don't know. It might just be kind of a for fun thing. I think I definitely had many years devoted to that I think I might kind of want to try a new time. So it's something else. Yeah,
because anything you devote your time to takes a lot of time.
Yeah, so I think it's time for something else.
Something else, and you'll find it, and that's exciting. All right, so do you want to stay in Centerville and teach here, or are you?
I think I do. I've really grown through that high school program. It's like I've got to connect with so many like wonderful people and like resources through Centerville, and it's just like I've never like not been in Centerville, and I don't think I want to see what that's like. I think I'd rather just stay in the place that I know of home and just stay here.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so opposite of so many people, but it's good to know what you like.
Yeah.
You know, that there's not one right way. It's just what's right for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about favorite places in Centerville and Washington Township. What are the places that are your favorite?
I feel like that stick out to me the most is probably like the rec center. Like I've known like, because I used to do like when I was like really young, I used to do like dancing there and like ballet. And then I used to take like some art classes. Like I think they're like towards the back of the rec center. They're like these like older,
the Stoltz building.
Yes, I've done so many like fun like pottery classes in there. And then Woodland Lights was always like a big hit for our family. Like we always would just like, that was like our meeting spot. Like if we like had like, we haven't seen each other in a while, like we always knew that we would have Woodland Lights to go back to. So that was always fun.
I'm so glad you said that, because I think it's a great place too. It's had so many other, so many things. It's been a real community asset for so many years. And did you ever do like the summer programs there or anything like that?
No, I have not, but I know a lot of people that have like helped with it, and I thought about doing it, but
like being one of the camp counselors.
I know a lot of people that like wanted me to like do it. They're like, "Oh, you would have so much fun with it," but I just never got around to it.
No, and you have other wonderful jobs, I'm sure you do. But it is fun. I did that for a while and thought it was really fun.
Yeah.
The Recplex is what was the Washington Township Rec Center. Now is Recplex, but
yeah, I feel like Graders was another good spot just from going from like soccer practice, like or after like a games, or I would also ref some games. So like I would be like towards like the more like high school-y, like middle school, I would start to ref games. And I feel like it was always just like on the way home, and it was always just right there. So we could always just like meet there after like games, or like when I was younger, like we would always have like, that was like our meeting spot. Like we would always just like meet there and have like a team like ice cream night, which was really fun.
I know it can get really busy in there as people are
we would
celebrating.
always sit on like the stone wall, and that was like we would just run inside, have our parents order, and we would just wait outside on the stone wall.
Probably because you were in cleats.
Yes,
and we track of mud everywhere.
Fully geared up, but we were ready for that ice cream.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk. You added in here when we talked previously about like Grant Nature's that you did like Girl Scouts there. So what did you remember from doing Girl Scouts at Grant Park?
I just remember like we would always have like a task that we would have to like do. Like, oh, like today we're gonna go like collect like leaves and we're gonna make like a project with it. And I just remember I would always be like the last one to come back because I was always like trailing off somewhere doing my own thing. So I feel like I always just like, it just was like so fun just to like be there. And I would always, not like on my own because we were like with a group, but
definitely.
Yeah, but it was always just like fun just to kind of like wander off and just do like my own thing.
Yeah, I love that park. It's so beautiful.
It is.
All right. So any other things that you can think of about your experiences in Centerville?
I just feel like the community here is just something that's like I've noticed is like so empowering. It's just like I feel like everywhere you go, like somebody always is like right there with you. Like you can like always find like a familiar or like a happy face to be around, which I think is really amazing to have. And then
you'll have that chance to be that for other people as you
Yes.
It sounds like you've always had a job ever since you were young. You've had, so you like to work.
Yes. Actually when I was in preschool, this is kind of funny. So I had this same like preschool and kindergarten teacher. Like it just kind of like happened to like flow that way. So like when kindergarten came, like the teacher just like knew to like trust me and knew that like I was kind of like the bigger like leader and like I could like have an interest in like teaching and I can like help other people. So like she would always be like, oh, I'm gonna go like make copies, like do you want to take over the class? So I feel like I always just kind of had like
the leadership.
Yes, it's
ability.
always just been like something like fun for me to like do.
Yeah.
And I just like stepping up and having like some support and just helping others. It's just something I just love to do.
Well, that is so fun. Well, we appreciate that you applied for the scholarship and then, were able to get many scholarships.
Yes.
You were very diligent in your scholarship getting.
Yes.
So appreciate you taking the time to be here today and especially sharing your experiences with COVID. I think it's very important to record these stories. In decades later, maybe when you have a family of your own, they'll ask these kind of things. What was it like? And you'll have this record of the things that you experienced during that time. And maybe it wasn't so difficult for you, but it was still impactful. And so it's a good thing to talk about. So thank you also to MVCC for helping to produce this podcast and to my guest, Anna Weller. If you have an interesting story about Centerville or Washington Township, please contact Centerville-Washington History. Please also come visit our museums in Uptown Centerville, Tuesday through Friday, 12 o'clock to 4 p.m. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram and watch for upcoming events posted on our website at centervillewashingtonhistory.org. Thank you and goodbye.